Yo, what is up, Canes fans? It's the Beast, Brian London. Do me a favor, if you're seeing this right now, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That lets you know when new videos drop, and hit the thumbs up button. Tell Google, hey, this video's okay, let's set it up the charts, right? Also, gotta let you know about my sponsor, Closure Investigative Agency. Yeah, C.I.A. Ulises and his crew are the best at what they do, which is turn every stone over for you to find you the truth. You gotta get to Ulises and Closure Investigative Agency if you have anything that needs to be investigated. A custody issue, a cheating spouse, an international situation, an insurance situation, a legal situation. If you need a private investigation firm, Closure Investigation Agency is the one for you. Check them out online at ciagency.net. Get right now to Twitter and follow my buddy Ulises and the staff at Closure Investigative Agency right now at CIAPIFL. That's at CIAPIFL. All right, let's do this. All right, Canes fans, it's the Beast. I'm up here in Orlando with the family. Little Thanksgiving getaway with the fam up here in Orlando. By the way, absolutely no cell reception or anything else, no good Wi-Fi or anything where we are. So it's been hard. It's been hard because I'm addicted to that net, to that phone. Got to get it in. Meanwhile, Miami crushes Duke. Absolutely takes it to them, and they should have, because Duke is horrible. The second to worst total defense in the country. David Cutcliffe, speak much, Beast, probably coached, maybe coached his last game for the Blue Devils, been there for 14 years. And the question is, will Manny Diaz have coached his last game as the Miami Hurricanes head coach? Well, let's get into it. First, let me take a sip of some Bullet Bourbon Rye, if you will. Good stuff. Little sip. Sorry that the ice is like not a nice rock of ice. It's just the, out of the fridge ice, because I'm at like a Verbo, man. They don't got what I need. Once it hits the lips, so good. Good finish. Let's talk about the game before we get to Manny and the AD and everything else. Tyler Van Dyke, your boy. Jesus, I sound like Zaslow. Tyler Van Dyke is unbelievable. Fifth straight game with over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Just amazing. This guy has caught lightning in a bottle, and it's amazing. And I'm so happy he's QB1. Listen, love De'Ara King. Love his passion, his leadership, and what he did last year, given talent or lack thereof around him, was great. But Tyler Van Dyke looks like this may be the first quarterback since Craig Erickson to get a chance at the next level. All the measurables, quick release, incredible football IQ, gun for an arm. Love this kid. Now, also, the talent that he had to work with that came out over the last half of the season, with Rambo breaking records, Harley breaking records. Will Mallory finally got it together. The talent helped him prevail. What also helped him, and what is in the unsung heroes of this team, the offensive line. This offensive line pass pro'd like a mother bleeper. Run blocking, we could, especially when they try to run it up the middle from shotgun on 4th and short. Leave something to be desired. But on the pass pro, this offensive line got it done. They kept Tyler Van Dyke clean, gave him a bunch of time, and he was able to make money passes. Love this kid. By the way, if you're wondering, I traveled to parts unknown to BFE Orlando to go find my favorite cigar. It is the CAO Flathead 660, a nice slow burn, great finish, really good stogie. You know what though? I need a little extra burn on this puppy. I'm not sucking enough. There we go. Here's the issue with Tyler Van Dyke, though. The dude that has cultivated him into what he is, Rhett Lashley, is most likely gone. Now, as of whatever time the game ended, check your watch on that. 3:30, 4 o'clock on Saturday. Nothing was final with Rhett Lashley. What I heard was there was still some things, some bureaucratic stuff to go through for him, so nothing was finalized. No I's dotted, T's crossed. Do I think it'll probably happen? Yes. Would I be completely shocked if something went awry? No, it's college athletics. Something always goes awry. But let's just assume that Rhett Lashley is out to SMU. You hope that the next offensive coordinator can continue on with this sort of system, not go to some pro-style ridiculousness because it's college football. We need to throw it around and utilize the talent we have, but also continue the growth of Tyler Van Dyke because this dude's money. And I think he's had this in him since he was a kid. Unrelated, I happen to know someone that knows the family very well. I don't want to get into specifics. But let's just say this kid went from not being able to see the field because of stuff going on to having to move high schools and getting it done and get noticed and find his way to Miami. And I think his journey was one that taught him resilience, but I think this talent has been in him. It just needed a little help from Rhett Lashley, and we got it. So that's good. And so the offense of this team, I think, has a bright future. So much talent there. Rambo's probably out. I would leave if I were him because you're not going to do much better. I'm sure he'll get a great draft grade. Hopefully he runs a good 40 and does all the stuff with the combine and all that stuff. Mike Harley, I think, peaked at the right time. He's been up and down. Let's not forget, it was like, what, a year ago? Or I don't know. The pandemic has made my brain all over the place with time. But it was like not a year ago or a year ago when Mike Harley, we thought he might quit. That didn't happen. You got Rooster. You got Franklin in the backfield, Brown. I think things are looking up for the Miami offense. Hopefully you can get a good coordinator. The defense is another situation. You need to plug holes there through the portal big time. And you probably need a real coordinator there. Not the head coach coordinating the defense, no matter who the head coach is. I mean, unless it's like Nick Saban, but that's not happening, so let's not worry about that. Man, the CAO Flathead 660 hits right. Yes, I would love them to sponsor this page. No, they haven't yet. But I am happy with my sponsor, Ulises at Closure Investigative Agency. Ulises is the man. Follow him on the Twitter right now. He's got hot football takes. Let me tell you, his Dolphins takes are better than anyone in town. At CIAPIFL. Follow him now. So let's talk about the drama. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. There seems to be power struggles going on all over the place. And I did, after every game I do a Twitter Spaces. That's the new place where you hang out. It seems like everybody else and their mother's uncle is caught on to Twitter Spaces because every time I go to do one, there's 78 other Canes Spaces going on. But I like it. I'm well-versed in the talk format. And it gives you guys an opportunity to chime in when I'm on Twitter Spaces. So look out for me doing my Twitter Spaces thing at Miami Radio Beast. But I was doing my Twitter Spaces after the game. Who jumps into the Twitter Space just to listen, just to see what's up? We both follow each other, and I respect him a lot. And I think he's part of the future of the University of Miami is Marcus Lemonis. The Prophet jumped in to hear what was going on. So, and he also tweeted out, Canes fans, what do you think? I think right now it's coming down to whether the money talks or the politics talk. And usually the money wins. Because it's a private university. And when people are offering to throw millions into things, it's usually not turned down. Unless you're Blake James, and if someone offers to pay Alonzo Highsmith his salary for years, and then you turn it down. But that's why Blake James doesn't have a job right now. So, yeah. Also, David Epstein, if you're watching this, I'm sure you're a great guy. I'm sure you're a mensch and you have a lovely family. But just what the bleep, dude. All right, got that off my chest. So here's the question, which is, who's in charge right now? Because if it's Julio Frank, is it Rudy Fernandez, Julio Frank's right-hand man? Is it Mr. Echeverria? Is it the money guys and the Columbus crew with Marcus Lemonis and Jose Mas? Is it John Ruiz wanted to throw a bunch of money in after he completes a SPAC? Yeah, baby. I love a good SPAC. Learned about it in my MBA training. Go look that up if you're not familiar. Awesome business term, a SPAC. Who's in charge right now? Because depending on who's in charge is how this next few days are going to play out. Whether an AD is hired first and then they make a decision on who the coach is, or whether someone who's in charge, which I don't know exactly who that is, whether it's the president or Rudy or the board of trustees or what have you, is going to make a coaching change without an AD in place. I don't know how that's all going to work. By the time you watch this, 78 million things could have changed. So I apologize. I think there's a lot of balance of power things going on right now at the University of Miami. And that has to be worked out in order for things to happen, right? I'm just not sucking enough. We need more fire. More fire! Fire burn! Fire burn! More fire! I wish I was in Jamaica right now. So, we thought the Tom Jurich deal was done, the guy, the former Louisville AD. It seems like a lot of us jumped the gun on that, myself included. We were hearing things that, listen, there's always people talking, and you think they're the ones making the plays and the ones that are in charge, and sometimes they're not, but they're good sources, so then you go with it, but then it doesn't end up happening, and it happens all the time. The best you can do is to double source something. As long as something has two sources, that means it has weight. Two independent sources. As long as something has two independent sources, that, like, for instance, if you want to ask someone about something, don't ask them and their wife. Those aren't independent sources. It's got to be them and then someone that's not related to them or really in their circle. And then that you can go with that story. It may not be right. They both may have had the story wrong, but at least you've double sourced it. You've done your job in the media. And people have double sourced that Tom Jurich was close to being hired as the UMAD. But then we find out, okay, now the search firm has been set to go, and now they're kind of starting over a little bit, and now we're starting to play politics, and things are happening, and this BOT member's an AHA and AH, I think I meant to say. But I said AA, whatever. So things are in flux right now, and I'm not sure what order they're going to happen in. I do know this: the University of Miami athletic department, beyond the football team, has been nothing but mediocre in a lot of areas over the last 15 years plus. Some areas have been good. I give them credit in some areas. Some areas have not been. More areas have not been great than others. So that's why Blake is done. That's why there's a search for a new AD. Do I think Manny is out? I think if the money talks and the Columbus crew and everybody else has their way, Manny is done. If all of a sudden there starts to be power struggles and BOT and all this other stuff, then maybe there's a chance. I can't tell you it's impossible. Now this whole like Gary Furman, I'm going to sit here and report 7 different stories to get clicks. I'm not going with that. Sorry. I think that was asinine. Whatever. Listen, I do respect Gary a lot, but there's times when I just question his motives and whether he's, where he's getting his information from and why he's being a mouthpiece at times for whoever he's getting his information from, aka John Gruden, players meeting, all that stuff. One other thing, speaking of players. So after the game, saw a lot of players tweeting about Manny, loving their coach, all that stuff. Whether it was coordinated or not coordinated or any of that stuff really doesn't matter. Listen, as I said on Twitter, these players live in a bubble. They live in a silo. They know nothing other than football and that program day in and day out, right? Yes, they go to classes, but they're not hanging at the apartments with all the other students. They're not going out to this or that bar with all the other students. Not during football season. Summer maybe, spring yes, but now they're living, eating, breathing, pooping football. That's all they know right now. And all of a sudden, it gets to the end of the season, and the only questions that are asked by the media are really about either records being broken or what about your coach's future. So it's not surprising that players would come out and be like, hey, Manny's our guy. Because that's all they've known for the last however many months. Football gets shoved down their throat. They don't live life like the rest of that campus. So I don't blame them. Now, if it was coordinated, fine, it was coordinated. But, who cares? Trust me, if Manny is gone and the next head coach has some experience that is well known and is a guy that these players can see are going to coach them up and win games with them, guess what? They'll be tweeting about that guy. So pay no attention, please. Some of you are worked up about this. Oh, it's coordinated. I don't like it. And blah, blah, whatever. Just see it for what it is. They're kids, okay? Except for Lou Headley. He's definitely not a kid anymore. He might have grandkids. I can't tell you that he doesn't. But everyone else, they're just kids. Let them be, man. Please. Don't get worked up over those things. Worry about all the other drama that's going on. So, I'm going to try to post this tonight, which is Saturday night. Who knows what will happen Sunday? You may be watching this on Sunday, in which case you'll know what's happening on Sunday because you're watching this on Sunday. And you're going to yell at me, Beast, what about X? And I'm going to be like, I don't know right now because it's Saturday. I don't know what's happening Sunday. But just know this. I'll be connected. I'll be in traffic for 7,800 hours driving from Orlando back down to South Florida. And we'll have you covered wherever you are. If something big happens, come to my Twitter. We'll be doing a Twitter Spaces. We'll be making YouTube videos in the back of the car while my wife drives, which she'll hate, and we'll probably, take an extra 7 hours to get home. But it's okay. I'll have you covered. So go follow me at Miami Radio Beast. And please do me a favor and support the sponsor of this channel and of my Twitter Spaces and a great guy, Ulises, at Closure Investigative Agency, ciagency.net, or on Twitter at CIAPIFL, Ulises and Closure Investigative Agency, simply the best in South Florida. That'll do it for me, everybody. I'm sure we will be talking very soon. Until then, I'm going to enjoy the CAO Flathead 660. It has my name on it. Oh, and the Bullet Bourbon Rye that I have sitting here that needs my attention right now. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.